Hello again guys, welcome back. This is Comic Kid here again, and today we have another figure review for you guys. Now as y'all can see, this is the all-new DC Multiverse Flashpoint Batman from McFarlane Toys. Now, at the moment, this is a Target exclusive. I actually got one of like a case slot. They had just opened it at my Target, and so I was super excited to finally grab him. Ever since McFarlane first announced this figure, I just knew I had to have him, and I'm just so excited that he's finally here. And honestly, this is one of the best looking McFarlane figures in my opinion, just straight out of the gate. He looks absolutely phenomenal, and there's really no other Flashpoint Batman figure made at this scale. I don't think Mattel ever got around to one, but I do know there is a DC Direct one that came in a 4-pack with some other Flashpoint figures, but this is really the only one they have for Flashpoint Batman, and it's going to be the easiest one to find, so if you're a fan of this version of the character, then this will be the one you'll want to pick up, especially since, you know, he's like 20 bucks or less or so. If you buy the Flashpoint Batman from before in like the 4-pack, I believe it goes for like 100 bucks or so now, which isn't bad given that you get 4 figures, but you're still paying 100 bucks when you kind of really only want the one. But it's some pretty standard packaging for McFarlane. There's the photo on the back there. And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and crack this bad boy open and look at some of the details. Alrighty you guys, here he is out of the box and everything, and I am just super impressed with everything McFarlane has done with this figure. Like, everything about him, just even right out the gate, I am absolutely in love with. You got some fantastic, phenomenal details even on the gloves there. Everything on the belt is just super detailed. The suit itself looks fantastic. The sculpt is perfect. McFarlane just knocked it out of the park with this one. But before we get into like some of the super specifics with him, I do want to mention the accessories. As always, he comes with his DC character card. There's the back there. Comes with the standard DC stand and 2 guns, and if I'm not mistaken, these guns are new sculpts. McFarlane has done several in the past for characters like the Joker, and I do believe these are new sculpts for Flashpoint Batman. I could be wrong there, but not sure. But to get into the figure himself now, so I already mentioned some of that fine detailing on the gauntlets he's got there. He actually managed to sculpt that 3rd triangle blade into the point there, just like it is in the comics. So you can see he's reusing, or not reusing, he's designing some new stuff there. The ankles and boots and knees and just everything about him looks so fantastic. Even on the back side, like, you have that detailing kind of up there by the cape, and the cape itself just the way the points come in on the shoulders there, and I just love how the cape flows. So very impressed with what McFarlane has done there. He does stand pretty easy as well. He's a bigger figure, he's got some wide feet, and so getting him to stand on his own really isn't an issue. And then one thing I do want to mention about the sculpt is that the holsters here are actually designed to fit those guns. And if y'all remember from my Mattel Red Hood video, that was one of my biggest complaints, was that they sculpted the guns into the holster and just didn't do anything beyond that. And they fit pretty nicely in there. They're actually a little difficult to get out, so there you have it. But that's really it as far as the accessories. If anything, I really feel as though he's lacking just some standard fist hands. This way, if I wanted to pose him with both guns in the holsters, like, I had at least some options other than just the gun hands, but I'm not super broken up about it, and I sincerely doubt that I'm gonna pose him with the guns actually in the holsters. As far as the paint goes, I don't really see any noticeable mistakes or anything. It's pretty hard to mess up a figure like this. I do feel as though the kind of shadow he's got on the chin there is a bit too obvious. Maybe he could have done a little bit of a better job blending that, but everything else about the paint just kind of works really well. The other thing is that it's a very shiny black here in comparison to the other blacks. I don't really have an issue with that. I actually do think it kind of draws attention towards the symbol there. So some people might have an issue with that. Personally, I do not. Now, as far as the articulation goes, it's your standard McFarlane figure. Toe joints there, which actually come up very far. Like, I have never seen articulation quite like that before. And then the boots, because they are so thick, do kind of limit that ball joint ankle there, but it's still better than nothing, and so yeah, I'm not super broken up about that. The legs could come out a bit further. They are a bit bigger. I'm not sure how much is limited by that belt there, but you still get some decent stuff. They go out pretty far as well. Not quite at a full 90-degree angle there, but some fair range of motion. And then some double jointed knees as well. There we go. And then you have the two ab swivels there, or that actually might be one. Let's see. That might be one ab swivel. That or just the one on my figure in particular is very, very stiff. That's just very difficult to manage if so. Oh. Yeah, it is a separate joint. There we go. It is a separate joint, it just needed a little bit of work around. You have some pretty pronounced butterfly shoulders in there. I actually really like that. Here, we'll get a little closer. Some double jointed elbows, like always, and some pretty solid wrist joints as well. Given the size of those gloves, those actually work out pretty well. And then the head is a little tight, basically due to that Adam's apple, but you still get some nice, solid range. So, especially for a $20 figure. So yeah, overall I do feel as though the articulation could be a bit better on this guy, but I mean, given the shelf presence for him alone, like, that's just super, super solid. I am very impressed with what McFarlane has done here. And I had mentioned earlier that he was pretty easy to stand, and now I'm having some difficulties. And so yeah, there we go. But yeah, I mean, as far as articulation goes, he's still far more posable than the DC Direct one that came in that 4-pack. And for a Flashpoint Batman figure, I definitely think this one is a total home run from McFarlane. I do feel as though he's a bit better than the starter one, and is probably the best Batman figure McFarlane is yet to give, honestly. But like I mentioned, aside from just a little bit more posability, like, I have absolutely no complaints about this figure overall. I'm super excited to show you guys some of the photos, but that's really all I can say about him. If I had to rate him, I'd probably give him a nice A-. Like, this is just a really solid figure all around. Even the paint detail, like, kind of in the sculpt or whatever, everything to do with his face, I just absolutely love it. But that's about everything we have for you guys today. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again real soon.